Hamlet.
I've heard good things. Best work of literature, supposedly.
That's the one about the pig and the spider or something, right?
No, dumbass, that's Charlotte's Web.
Oh. Well, what's it about then?
Life, all the good stuff. It's about kings and love and grief, revenge, a lot of adult things, but there's still plenty for us. I suppose, in a sense, it is about life and the human experience, but it's not so general. I've heard it's a play of questions.
Let us begin.
Who's there? It starts with a question. The rest follows. It's all questions. I think it's a sense of uneasiness, uncertainty, fear. But what are they afraid of?
The dark?
Maybe they're afraid of life, of knowing themselves, of knowing others.
Stand and unfold yourself.
I don't get it. Me either.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody else laughed, so I thought it was supposed to be funny. It's sexual humor.
What?
He's talking about his penis. Sure. Get a good little grip and 3 shakes. 1, 2, 3.
Come on!
What just happened?
I thought he was loving her for the last time before he steps away to his deed. I've just been told, apparently, you just jerked off in front of her.
Would that work?
He's supposed to be in an antic disposition, so I suppose so.
What? No, not that. Is Hamlet mad? Hell if I know. In fact, if any of you adults think you know, I'd say you're the mad one.
Can he really be mad? I think incipient insanity is the gradual loss of thought. Maybe he isn't quite thinking clearly, in the sense of a plain white clarity, but he clearly is thinking. I don't think he can separate his emotional turmoil from his thoughts, though. There's a veil, a haze of color. Everything he does is to a single point. All that matters to him is how anything affects his purpose. He isn't acting genuine. He becomes a characterization, shaped by the colorful tint he sees. And I don't believe him insane, just not himself. I agree. I think it could be seen either way. It's open to interpretation, and probably by design. Hamlet, I think as long as you've thought about it, it doesn't matter if he's mad or not, just that you can see it in some way. Maybe so, and maybe no. Hey, I like that guy. He's so him. You're not trying to be like him, are you? I don't think so. I'm me. But I like him too. I like his thought. I like what he is. I don't know, maybe I liked what he would say in this moment the most out of everyone else, so I imitated him.
Don't be a loser.
As long as they don't see you being a loser, they won't know you are one. This isn't why we're here. Well, I suppose it is. But we've got a job. And they are not watching this for us. I guess that's it for today. He's got work or something or other to go to. I'll see you gentlemen tomorrow. I'm tired. I don't think I can think to the level necessary for this to be true. So I think I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna dance until I am so tired that I have to sleep. And then I will sleep so sweetly as to be refreshed. And then I will resume my thinkings. What the hell is he doing? It's because he loves her. Is it? Wait. No, you're right. But it has to be something. I think he does it because it's what he would do. Like yesterday with the maybe so and maybe no thing. But this time he's imitating himself. Imitating himself? No, he's not. He's being himself. It's completely something he would do to imitate himself like that. It's very him. I want to think about love, or the suicide monologue. But you can't. At least not today. You need to waste. Before we get ahead of ourselves, because I know what we're dying to discuss, I think we should go a bit more in order. The ghost and the murder.
What art thou that at sippest this time of night? Together with that fair and warlike form which majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march. By heaven, I charge thee, speak!
Angels, mistress of grace, defend us. Be thou a spirit of health or a goblin damned. Bring with thee airs from heaven or blasts from hell. Be thy intents wicked or charitable. Thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, king, father, royal dame. Oh, answer me. Let me not boast in ignorance, but tell why thy canonized bones, harassed in death, have burst their cerements. Why the sepulchre, when we saw thee quietly interned, have upped his ponderous and marble jaws to cast thee up again. What may this mean? That thou, dead corse, again in complete steel revisit thus the glimpse of the moon, making night hideous and we fools of nature so horridly to shake our disposition with thoughts beyond the reaches of our souls. Say, what is this? Wherefore? What should we do?
Mark me.
Who the hell is this guy?
Angels and ministers of grace, defend us!
How could you be afraid of your father? And how too not to know the nature of your father? I call thee Hamlet. Thou comest in such a questionable shape. It is something. It is a being. We know Horatio saw it, so it has to be real. And it takes the shape of his father. So Hamlet, due to the shape it has taken, is beckoned to call to it. To call it Hamlet, then king, father, and royal Dane. Hamlet only calls him these things, though. There's nothing to say that he truly is, only called as such. But the spirit bent on revenge, not acceptance, nor clarity, nor closure, nor health, nor prosperity, I call thee Hamlet. You are me. Am I then a spirit of revenge? And what drives it so? Hamlet asks why. I'm for some reason inclined to believe that the spirit, cast up from ponderous and marble jaws, is laden with a purpose not his own. Something else has cast him up. Something else has given it purpose and thought. I had a thought that it was his father's spirit. Not his father, but this thing attached. Not the mind of his dad, but the mind of this thing, contracted, being owned by or owning his father. I don't have much to say. I'm mostly wondering what is right. Is revenge correct? As Hamlet's father, if that's what he is that really what he should be seeking, to be charging his son with? And to charge his son at all, to walk the land of the living again? Are these things correct? Not even morally, but is this what Hamlet's father as an individual should do? Is he playing his role correctly? I don't know. I'm not too interested in the ghost, really. What about the murder? I think it's more about the uncle than anything. Is the uncle the type of person to kill his brother like that? He planned to kill Hamlet, so I'm sure it's possible. But he was not apathetic to Gertrude's death. He resisted that. Yet he did not stop it. He let his station as king come before the life of his wife, probably subconsciously, They'd weighed out the two in an instant. I wonder what his love was like. How much did it hurt him for her to die? Did he really love her? I think what's important is that we don't know. The uncle, for me at least, is complex. He's not some villain that can only do evil. He might be doing bad things, but he has deeper emotions and thoughts driving him. He's just not some caricature of villainy, I suppose.
He would still totally kill his brother, though.
Yeah, probably. But we shouldn't discount him as just a bad guy. He has his own reasons and feelings. He's completely human. I want to think about love. Where to start? Well, personally, I would either go deeper into his uncle's love for Gertrude or go into Hamlet's love for Ophelia. Either way, I would combine the two and lead it towards difference. Because what I want to talk about is the paradoxical world and how different reactions to given situations, at their most extreme, are all correct in some way.
Is there any love in this play at all? Like real love?
Horatio loves Hamlet! That's not the love I'm talking about. Love is love. I don't really like that. That's love. For us. And that's not in the play. Love doesn't have to be the same for everyone, though. I understand that. But I think love, as I've come to understand it, is stronger. It's more something. And I just don't find that in the play. Not even in Hamlet, who's probably the biggest depiction of a lover. Maybe from Ophelia.
Oh, maybe. She didn't think enough, though. She should have known that if her love were true, to kill herself would be wrong.
But her heart was broken. Her mind, too. The love I know of is a chosen one. It's not an obligation. It's contemplative. You doubt it. You doubt yourself. You doubt them. It's an assurance. You feel these things you do not understand. You feel anxieties you've never before known, but you're happy. Your chest tightening as they enter your heart, and they make you feel so full up of an amazing thing whenever you think of them. As they cross your mind, all that matters is them. The rest of the world fades out of existence. As long as they are happy, you are content. You may suffer deeply being apart from them, but you know that as long as they are happy, it's enough. All your pains are alleviated by their joy. To you, they are perfect. Every scar or blemish a beautiful mark in your eyes. They are far from the imperfect being you know yourself to be. They are unattainable, like a celestial being, but they still love you. They reach down from their heavenly space to you, and you find the courage to reach to them. High up for them into the dark night sky, on your tiptoes you stretch out into this world unknown to you. You decide in your heart that though you are unsure, though you are scared, you will take flight with them. It's worth it. Not for you, but for them. You should know you'll never not be you. You're right. There's this part of love I don't quite know yet. I know how to love them, but I don't know how to be loved. It's more than just one-sided. I know, yet I don't know. I can't speak to it. I can't fathom a celestial being loving a mortal like me. The reason I let myself be swept up into their beautiful flight is because I know it's what they want. But is that what it means? Love? To share a love? Is that even possible? For it to be one singular combined thing? Or do we just love each other separately, in our own different ways? I admire her, she admires me, though we both loathe ourselves. What the hell am I even doing? How could Hamlet truly love Ophelia and be so cruel to her? His heart was broken. She distanced herself from him. Maybe he's gone mad. That's all. He's right. All she did was stop his sexual advances. Maybe their love was merely the throes of lust and passion. She returned all of his love letters too. But love letters don't need to mean love. It's a cool trick for the mind to play on oneself. But perhaps Hamlet was only trying to be what a lover should be. He, like his uncle, curled upon himself, suffocating the mind, tricking himself into a false love.
Huh. Are you honest? My lord? Are you fair? What means, your lordship? That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty. Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty? Aye, truly. For the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd than the force of honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. This was sometimes a paradox, but now time gives it proof. I did love you once. Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so. You should not have believed me, for virtue cannot inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you not. I was the more deceived. Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent honest. Yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offenses at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What would such fellows as I do crawling between the earth and heaven? We are errant knaves all, believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where is your father? At home, my lord. Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but his own house. Farewell. Oh, help him. You sweet heavens! If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow. Thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery. Farewell. Or if thou wilt needs marry, marry a fool, for wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery. Go. And quickly too. Farewell. Heavenly powers, restore him. I have heard of your paintings too, well enough. God hath given you one face, and you make yourselves another. You jig and amble, and you lisp. You nickname God's creations, and make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to. I'll no more on't. It hath made me mad. I say we will have no more marriage. Those that are married already, all but one shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery go.
Are you honest? Are you fair? I have heard of your paintings too. God hath given you one face, and you make yourselves another. He opens with doubt. I loved you once. I loved you not. Maybe he really did love her, or tricked himself into loving her in the pursuit of fitting into what he should be. But realizing that, he now believes that though what he felt was love, it was not for her. And maybe too, that the one that felt such love was not truly him. He still cares for her though. Get thee to a nunnery.
Wait, no, you're right. Maybe the love did exist, but the two in love didn't exist. They were the two loving masks that Ophelia and Hamlet wear.
No, not I. I never gave you aught. He acts like the remembrances she tries to return were never given to her. That could be compounding how he never loved the Ophelia that's here and now, but the whole dialogue just doesn't seem like Hamlet. It's childish.
It's not much like himself, but does he know what like himself is? Hamlet is this in-between character. He's not stuck in as something.
He's lost. He's supposed to have an antidisposition too, though. He could be lost in the sauce. Not crazy, just lost. His compass shattered. He doesn't have a safety rope back to sanity. He's sane, but you just can't find him drowning in this inky pool of insanity to mask his sane self. I want to talk to her. Don't you always?
Yeah, but it's been so long.
He talked to her this morning.
That feels like forever ago.
We need to stay on topic. And honestly, we veered quite far off. It's hard, but due to these turbulent times, we keep looking at ourselves and not at Hamlet. So in summary, Horatio loves Hamlet, but it's not a romantic love, so it's not love, like, and Hamlet can't love Ophelia because if he truly did, he wouldn't have been able to do those cruel things to her, but he also maybe falsely loved a facade of her, and his uncle's love for Gertrude is an example of the different ways people do things that will help me lead to my specific argument that two complete opposite ways of being, no matter how different, are both correct and admirable as long as you are true to your being, even if that being is someone who's lost and doesn't know what their being is. Everyone is different. As long as you're you, it's right. No matter how different it is from some other thing, that's also right. Yes. Suicide.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. To die, to sleep, no more. And by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit the unworthy takes, when he himself might quietest make with a bare bodkin? Who would furtles bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is slicked o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pitch and moment, with this regard, their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action. Soft you now, the fair Ophelia, nymph, in thy horizons be all my sins remembered.
That's quite a vulnerable piece of writing. For it to be felt true by the author, I pity thee, and am envious just the same. To be so honest, to create something so real. I think everyone, except babes unborn to thought, can appreciate and form relation to this part of the world. Should I be this or be that? No, not so. I think that's still part of it. It starts out with a more grandiose intent, whether 'tis nobler in the mind. As a human, I'm thinking of my death, my suicide, and I'm pondering which is nobler, which is better to society, to people who've no thought or experience of my life, even of me, myself, I ask, which I can look upon and say with certainty, that is the noble thing of me to do, to either suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles.
Like John Wick versus Jesus!
Aye. Initially, the thought of suicide is one contemplative. You question morality. The superego is screaming at the ego. You weigh out all these superficial things. You know none of it matters, but it's all important. And then we come to the second act. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time? Who would furtles bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life? When you put aside the stuff that doesn't matter, when you get to the raw state of things, when the ego has no superego and it's all up to the id to decide, why would you not kill yourself? Why would you bear the furtles and grunt and sweat? What reason is there to fear the sweet release of death? It's the mortal coil that tortures us so, yet to it we cling so tightly. It shouldn't make any sense. And then the third act. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. The rub is the problem, the little itch that makes us recoil from what should be a release we instinctively step towards.
Hey yo, big dog, it's time for burrito break.
The reason we stop short of the end to linger with our burdens, to sleep, perchance to dream, for in that sleep of death what dreams may come, is the dreams, what dreams may come. It's even possible that there are no dreams. The dread of something after death puzzles the will. It's the unknown. You almost know you're human if you can't kill yourself. It's so human to be uncertain, to fear the unknown. The id and the superego think they know.
I don't want to hurt anymore. You have to be noble.
I don't know. The ego doesn't know, and it fears what it does not know. A simple uncertainty drives us back, and in being driven back, we realize that we're human. We're alive. I think you're kind of crazy. I realize that my obsession with the things I deem correct is a perversion. I lust for something I can understand. The people who can embody these extremes, they can't be human.
To be human is to flounder. It's the indecisiveness, the uncertainty, the humanity of it all.
Imperfection.
Yes, the imperfection that makes us human. And this thing that you seek, it can't be human. It's some stripped away simplification, a doll almost.
You're right. Having a resolution slicked over with a pale cast of thought, to lose the name of action, it's imperfect, it's unresolute, it's embarrassing almost, it's uncourageous, the opposite of absolution. There are all these different things pulling you in different directions. I can hardly bear to look, it's so...
Then what about Ophelia? She killed herself. Was she then not human?
I think she was, but I can't say why.
It's said for us. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time when he himself might quietest make with a bare bodkin? Who would furtles bear, or that the dread of something after death puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of? Both are human. In sort of to the now evolved, perverse search for something extreme and true, we have the inverse. In this duality, these two things are so different, yet both embody the human experience and what it means to be human. And the juxtaposition of what it means to be human in and of itself is inherently human, an imperfection, at the risk of sounding repetitive, floundering, to flail about with no direction in mind at all, but with the rooted belief that you know or have some idea of what you are doing is what it means to be human. So I think that though Ophelia doesn't have the humanity to tremble before death, she's still human just the same.
The Gravediggers. I really like this whole part for some reason.
Is she to be buried in Christian burial when she willfully seeks her own salvation?
I tell thee she is. Therefore make her grave straight. The crowner hath sat on it and finds it Christian burial.
I think one reason it's interesting is the high level of thought from two poor, probably uneducated people. It's uncharacteristic, out of place. The crowner. Normally the church crowns the king, so the church should decide whether or not it's Christian burial. But the church having power over heavenly decisions goes against God, so the church deciding Christian burial is in the wrong. And the crowner might be the king, for the king crowned himself. Thus the king, not part of the church, deciding Christian burial is also against God. The church is corrupt, religion a lie.
How can that be? Unless she drowned herself in her own defense.
Why, 'tis found so.
It must be sea offendendo. It cannot be else. For here lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act, and an act hath three branches. It is to act, to do, to perform. Argal, she drowned herself wittingly.
To act is to do the action for what doing the action makes you. To do is to do the action for what doing the action may grant you. To perform is to do the action for what doing the action may have someone perceive of you. I think all three are applicable to Ophelia. We don't know the details of her death. She could have done it for Hamlet to perceive. She could have done it for her to be led of her sorrow. She could have done it to find truth in herself through the action, i.e. to become true, or at least to think so. So Ophelia drowned herself wittingly.
Know that though. Maybe the king killed her.
Perhaps. But this is a play of questions.
Here's a question.
No, it's not. That's just a segue to end this. The clown is dumb. Argal should be ergo. Se offendendo should be se defendo for in self-defense. He tries his best to argue his points, but is oblivious to his blunders. I must admit a sense of kinship with the clown. For I noticed Argal being similar to ergo, but did not place it as a mistake, and only thus realized, with outside help, I am a dunce.
But you tried your hardest.
Let's rewind again.
Maybe Hamlet loves Ophelia, the real Hamlet and the real Ophelia. So we think Hamlet is this in-between character. He's all these different things, and he's not sure which one to singularly embody, which is part of being human. So in a fit of humanity,
He shucks himself of Ophelia. He looks for what he seeks within himself. Why would I do that to her? She wasn't here. I felt the love was lost. I returned to my previous simpler state and looked within. I rely on my humanity.
I'm imagining a pen of ducklings or baby chickens. They're yellow. I'm one such bird. A hand grabs me between the thumb and index finger and raises me from the pen. I'm now alone in the air above the border of my old pen. When the hand takes me, a black blindfold with long strips that flow off my face covers my eyes. I am now blind. I embrace my new state and the blindfold. I think of my pen and the fields that I glimpse in imagination that are beyond my pen. The hand that grabbed me is a feminine one. For some reason, I'm attracted to it. This is a depiction of love. The blindfold of love plucks you up from life and humanity, and you just embody the love. But then again, is that love? It's a blinding thing. I think what's on the other side when you can see through the blindfold is what the evolved, truer love is. You're in the air still, held up with the blindfold, but you look upon your domains. You see everything clearly and are aware of it all.
Okay, so next we gotta talk about Hamlet and his mom. He's in trouble, and he's gotta talk to his mommy, but he's got a plan.
'Tis now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn, and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world. Now could I drink hot blood, and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. Soft, now to my mother. O heart, lose not thy nature. Let not ever the soul of Nero enter this firm bosom. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none. My tongue and soul in this be hypocrites. How in my words some over she be shent. To give them seals, never my soul consent.
The first little part, 'tis now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn, and hell itself breathes contagion to this world. I think this is like a little semi-self-aware but unaware of the self-awareness statement. The only time the ghost can pull up is at night, which is very witching. When churchyards yawn, ponderous in marble jaws, and hell itself breathes contagion to this world. We don't know what kind of person Hamlet's father was. Maybe he went to hell. Maybe the contagion hell breathes to this world is the ghost. Now could I drink? Hamlet, as we've stated, and know deep well within our own self, doesn't know who he is. He has vibrant and deeply saturated morals which should cement his sense himself, but they do no such thing. His deep contemplative thought on who he is and what he should be prevent him from being and doing.
I once said to someone, you can only know who you are if you aren't anything. Because if you're something, you're so busy being that something that you don't realize you're something. When I was nothing, all I could think about was my nothingness.
So Hamlet, not being anything specific, but very human, is indecisive. It's not now I will drink hot blood, but now I could drink hot blood.
Then next, O heart, lose not thy nature. I've been thinking about this, and I can't pinpoint it for sure, but it's the thought that counts. Is the nature his heart shouldn't lose, a nature to love his mother, as in I'm overcome with this contagion, a will to do bitter business, and I can't lose my love for my mother? Or is it the opposite? Is the love for his mother the outshining property? Does he need to hold fast to his laments as to not forget his deed in the presence of his loving mother? Or is it like a third, more neutral, removed take? His heart's nature is to weigh out his morals, to think about things, to analyze. Is he saying he should take not his rage, but the emotions driving him to action and his mother in two hands and look at them equally and weigh them out as his heart would another situation? I can't tell for sure.
The soul of Nero is Nero who brutally murdered his mother. The rest of it sort of makes me think my previous analysis is the first option. He's going to be cruel and speak daggers, but his soul will be hypocrite. His soul will agree with what he's saying, but won't drive him to action. To give my words seals, never my soul consent. To make my words official through action, my soul will never consent.
Why is he doing that, though?
Maybe it's not really something thought out, just an id decision, like retaliation between siblings. He wants to get back at his mother for all his sufferings, but I don't know.
Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon the brother's murder. Pray can I not? though inclination be as sharp as will. My stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. And like a man to double business bound, I stand and pause where I shall first begin in both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy but to confront the visit of offense? And what's in prayer but this twofold force, to be forestalled ere we come to fall, or part into being down? Then I'll look up. My fault is past. But oh, what a form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me for my foul murder? That cannot be, since I am still possessed of the effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense. In the corrupted currents of the world, offence's gilded hand may shove by justice, and oft 'tis seen the wicked prize itself buys out the law. But 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling. There the action lies in his true nature, and we ourselves compelled, even to the teeth and forehead of our faults, to give evidence. What then? What rests? Try what repentance can, what can it not? Yet what can it, when one cannot repent? O wretched state! O bosom black as death! O limed soul that's struggling to be free art more engaged! Help, angels! Make us say, bow stubborn knees, and heart with strings of steel be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. May all be well. My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Word without thoughts, never to heaven go.
So Claudius essentially confesses, pray can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will. In general, I'm really impressed with how well Shakespeare captures what it's like to be human, at least how I know it, from how I've lived. Claudius knows he should feel guilty and is inclined to pray but can't. My stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. He feels strong guilt. Like a man to double business bound, I stand and pause where I shall first begin and both neglect. I felt this deeply today, and quite often.
Me too.
Me 3.
I'm not privy to the conscience of every man, so I can't say this for certain. But what I can say is those who are consumed by thoughts, those who think, probably feel this too.
Get rid of the damn pen.
Double business. Two things completely different, yet both are attractive. Both demand my attention, and I want to give it to both. But I can't. I have to choose. Claudius knows he should repent, but he also wants to keep his effects. He can't do both truly, and it's all a search for truth. The thinker's search for truth. Claudius can't be true in either without giving up the other. It's tough. That's not something that's easy to come to terms with. Today I was greedy. I greedily slurped up the contents of a short graphic novel. It made me feel something. I liked it a lot. But in that state, in that entirely self-centered state, I did not move forward. To smell the roses, you have to stop. And I love the roses, but I love moving forward just as much. For a moment, you can stop and stand where both you would first begin and both neglect. And for a moment, that's where Claudius is. But you have to make a decision. Again, it's tough, but you have to give something up.
What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow?
I don't get this. Why is this here? If I killed my brother and my hands were stained, would heaven not have the capacity to forgive? Why say this? What point is it to?
Whereto serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer but this twofold force, to be forestalled ere we come to fall, or part into being down?
Mercy only serves to confront the visage of offense. The only thing mercy helps to do is shrink the crime out of sight, and the twofold force of prayer to either arrest our fall or pardon us when we have fallen. And to arrest is to almost sweep it under the rug. A tree hath borne treacherous fruit, but the gardener hath plucked it for it be ripened. And then again, if the fruit be ripe as to fall, the fruit-bearing pear be plucked again, thus from the ground. Though its sin stains the land it be forgave, so prayer is ultimately useless. The fruit exists in either sense, and Claudius even illustrates it.
Then I'll look up. My fault is past. But oh, what a form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me for my foul murder? That cannot be.
Claudius has fallen off the tree. His hideous fruit has smudged the world. He realizes he cannot be forgiven. It doesn't make any sense, especially when he does not truly seek forgiveness.
Since I am still possessed of the effects for which I did the murder,
He feels guilt but doesn't seek forgiveness, because it doesn't make sense.
may one be pardoned and retain the offense. In the corrupted currents of the world, offence's gilded hand may shove by justice, and oft 'tis seen the wicked prize itself buys out the law.
Logically and morally, pardoning shouldn't make sense. Can you forgive a child for stealing an ice cream cone when they still lap up the sweet cream? And he reflects on the world, one where gilded hands shove by justice. A wealthy offender can often evade justice, often by using the wealth gained by their own sin.
But 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling. There the action lies in his true nature, and we ourselves compelled, even to the teeth and forehead of our faults, to give evidence.
For God, you can't evade justice. The deed is seen. Justice should be served.
What then? What rests? Try what repentance can, what can it not? Yet what can it, when one cannot repent?
To what avail is repentance? Perhaps to the question of the capacity for heavenly rains that I previously did not understand. Is there a limit to what true repentance can let you be forgiven of? And when you do not truly repent, it is useless. Perhaps the king is too far gone. Even if he did, with every fiber of his being, seek forgiveness, he could not be forgave.
O wretched state! O bosom black as death! O limed soul that struggling to be free art mo engaged!
He is troubled, and in his thoughts, is struggling to be free. He only entangles himself further.
Help, angels, make us say, bow stubborn knees, and heart with strings of steel be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. May all be well.
I think this is his final cry, his last pleading prayer for him to be forgiven, even though he just went through a whole thing on how he can't escape justice, and even if mercy be given, it ultimately does no good. He's still guilty, and the world forever wronged. It's sort of these words that fly up.
My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Word without thoughts, never to heaven go.
The form of prayer is not what reaches God. It's a thought, an emotion, the feeling, the intent. Without heartfelt repentance, it's meaningless. So ultimately, he is not forgiven and is ready to go to hell. But Hamlet, the dumb pig that he is, trusting a spider, is thinking, well, darn, I'm about to send him to heaven, so I can't kill him right now, which is simply incorrect. That's also the reason everybody dies, because the treacherous act he plans to catch him in is the one that kills everyone. It's all a convoluted mess, but that's life.
Now might I do it, Pat. Now he is a-praying, and now I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven, and so am I revenged. That would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that, I, his sole son, do this same villain send to heaven. This is hire and salary, not revenge. He took my father grossly, full of bread, with all his crimes broad blown as fush as May. And how his audit stands, who knows save heaven? But in our circumstance and course of thought, 'tis heavy with him. And am I then revenged, to take him in the purging of his soul, when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No. Up sword, and know thou more horrid hent, when he is drunk asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, at game, a swearing, or about some act that hath no relish of salvation in't, then trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven, and his soul be as damned and black as hell, whereto it goes. My mother stays. This physic but prolongs thy sickly days.
Like I said, Hamlet thinks he's about to send Claudius to heaven. This is hire and salary. I'm about to do something so good I should be paid for it. He took my father full of bread. At first I thought this would in a gentle state, embodying goodness, sort of like communion. His father has the bread, the body of Jesus Christ, maybe the wine too. He's taking in these good things. he's in a state of goodness. He took my father in a state of goodness. But after thinking again, I think it's more of like in a state of greed or a natural state, an uncleansed state. My father was full of bread. He didn't have an empty stomach. He wasn't as his soul, maybe naturally, or not naturally, but he isn't a removed, uninfluenced state. Claudius just purged his soul. He has no bread in his stomach. And it's not fair for Hamlet to kill Claudius with no bread while his father was taken full of bread. How is Audit stands who knows safe heaven? At first, I thought this was about Claudius, but I think it's about Hamlet's father. I don't know if my dad went to heaven or to hell.
Up sword, and know thou more horrid hent,
Foreshadowing the tragedy to befall them.
or about some act that hath no relish of salvation in't.
Again, he will kill him in an act that is so irredeemable that he must go headlong into hell.
This physic but prolongs thy sickly days.
This flask of medicine that I let you live by but prolongs thy sickly days. It either lets Claudius live longer with his grief, or has Hamlet endure the things that prick him to revenge. Either way, Hamlet could kill Claudius now, because he's wrong. He's going to hell anyway. Hamlet is overthinking and being human.
Honestly, at the start, when I said that the play was about life, I didn't put much thought into that. But I'm seeing now, and I realize that this really is truly an amazing representation of life and what it means to be human. Why can't Gertrude see her husband's ghost?
We should know the ghost is real because Horatio saw it. But though Horatio is trustworthy, is he correct 100% of the time? And the ghost appeared in front of the guards. So I'm not inclined to believe that he only appears selectively to important people. So Hamlet might be at this point fully insane and hallucinating the ghost. His mental and emotional states are so out of order that his subconscious manifests this version of the ghost, and it's like pushing him to do what in his subconscious mind is right, the right thing to do, which is revenge, because the ghost planted that seed and nurtured it, the real ghost. So Hamlet manifests this version of the ghost to keep him on track. He's off the rails, he's being realigned to what his subconscious believes is right. So revenge bubbles up. But it could also be that Gertrude is mentally blocking the ghost. She's unable to see it.
I like that one. I sort of always thought the reason Gertrude wed her brother-in-law was as a way of coping. She doesn't want to confront her emotions and her trauma, so she runs away by remarrying. It's like distracting herself. Again, her mind may be telling her that she doesn't see her husband, not because he isn't there, because she doesn't want to confront him.
This could also lead back to where Hamlet has Gertrude compare the two pictures. Have you eyes? Hamlet says that not even madness would let one make the blunder of choosing such an inferior. She can't even see what her husband was and is blind to the mistakes she makes. It's like she can't even compare the two men because her husband is practically invisible, non-existent, plucked from her mind. And I also don't think the ghost has that much power over his appearances, because if he did have such gumption, why not appear before Hamlet when he was away at university, or before Claudius to drive him to suicide?
I think we need to hurry up.
Yeah, I know, that's why I'm talking so much. But I think we can get back to where we left off.
What does it mean to be insane? Madness. Holy fuck. Bro, I am not memorizing all that.
Yo, that's not in the script, bro.
Yeah, whatever. The actions of a madman with no thought, action without thought, a lack of reason, no conscious purpose. Is it abnormal action? I don't think so, because you can act abnormally, go against the grain, and still be sane. Made that rhyme. Enlightened even. Is it a physical condition? I think that could be a factor, and a cause of insanity in some cases, but you certainly could be physically ill and still be sane.
Is it a lack of responsibility or competency or control to have no authority over your actions due to some tick of the mind or emotional veil? I think this is close. Madness is sort of the difference from how you are and how you should be. To do things for reasons not your own could certainly be madness. I think it goes hand in hand with a lack of thought or consciousness, doing something with no greater design, lacking a point or purpose. I'm imagining a homeless person on the side of the street sitting down next to the curb on the sidewalk. They're not leaning on anything. There's no simple desire at play directing them to action. What they are currently doing is not something that's done to bring pleasure or to make easy. They're doing something nonsensical, mumbling something to themselves or the world, doing some strange deed with a strange object in each hand. What they say and hold are not what matter. They could be anything. They could be doing anything at all. But they aren't doing anything for any reason. There is no thought, not even a simple desire or wantonness. There's nothing driving them to action. They simply act. No id, no superego. The ego is doing randomness. Randomness. I think that's it. Like in Breakfast of Champions, the guy that says things not even God can predict. It's complete random nonsense. He doesn't say the things because God can't predict them. He's just saying things. It's all meaningless, useless bullshit. It's the floundering of being human without the humanity. Maybe that's what madness is, a lack of humanity. Whether it be raw human nature, like with the desire to end it all with a bare bodkin, or the evolved humanity of fearing the unknown and overthinking. But in lacking both, you are mad. Not yourself, not human. So then again, I am asked, is Hamlet mad? Is Hamlet not himself? Is he lacking his humanity at any point throughout the play? I think through most of it, I could say that his thinking is altered or influenced, maybe not truly his own, but he still is acting like himself. Say I take a kitten. I give it a simple mind that only does what it wants. It is driven by carnal desire. In a vacuum stripped of reagent, with no outside stimulus, with nothing for it to react to or influence it, it is true in its being. What it wants with nothing else around it is truly the kitten. It will seek fulfillment of its desires. Then if I give the kitten a stimulus, something to make it want something specific, its desires are now something of my control. If I make it cold, it will seek warmth. Is its new-found desire spurned by my involved hand truly its own desire, a reflection of the self? I think what matters here is not if it's truly the kitten's desire, but that the kitten's nature is unchanged. No matter how I influence the kitten, it will seek fulfillment of its desires. That its desires are counterfeit is no matter. The nature is unchanged. If the kitten did something that was not within its nature for desire, it would be mad. So with this, I say that no matter if Hamlet seeks revenge as an actualized part of his true self, or if his actions are spurred by some tick of the ghost, he's still acting as Hamlet would. His thoughts may not be true to him, but their course is natural. Even if it's rigged, Hamlet is acting in his nature, as his nature would act in any influential environment. So he's not mad. But there's one scene where this is shaken. When Hamlet decides to be cruel to his mother, to kill the man behind the curtains immediately with no thought, to drag the body around the castle, to run around acting silly, I don't understand the point. It seems like he has devolved to some childish state. His actions seem entirely emotional, spur of the moment, gut feeling, impulsive. Like his brain and his thoughts are gone entirely. He's some creature of desire and whimsy. It contrasts so much with the calculating, thoughtful man he has been portrayed as. It's a complete switch. Like Hamlet at once embodied the fear of death and is now the simple desire to end your burdens. Maybe this was some repressed self. Maybe he truly is mad and momentarily loses his humanity. In my mind, if I were to kill Polonius, my reason for dragging the body would be that I don't really have one. I kill him, I look down on his corpse, indifferent. He was barely human to me, not worth grief. Not even that, but it's just not something that can be manifested inside of me for him. I think to myself, well, I gotta do something. And what follows is complete random nonsense. What?
Your shirt's not buttoned up, right?
Yeah, I know. That's the whole We're including all of this. I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that again. Third time is not the charm. Sorry for cursing. Why'd you even... God, my cameraman is such an... Where was I? Um, I kill him. I look down on his corpse, indifferent. He was barely human to me. Not worth grief. Not even that, but it's just not something that can be manifested inside of me for him. I think to myself, well, I gotta do something. When it follows is complete random nonsense. I have no point. I have no reason. I'm just dragging him around because I think to myself I have to do something. I don't even know why I'm even doing it. It's just something I do. Maybe I'm subconsciously trying to imitate somebody that has a reason for doing something in that moment. But I feel empty. My mind is lacking. There's a nothingness. And not to say the nothingness of an empty space that implies something should be there or once was. It's an absolute nothingness. There is no black. There is no void. There is no empty shelf with a space for a book. It's just nothing. It never existed and never will. Is that madness? And why am I now suddenly this way? I'm starting to do these things for no reason. I'm just compelled. I'm just doing them. It's a feeling I can't describe. You just have to know. And to the why, I don't think in real life there would be a reason either, or not some super obvious one. It just happens. It overflows. Maybe something subconsciously drives it to happen, but once the crust is passed, that drive means nothing. It all becomes random. I'm now lost. I'm gone. Am I mad? Am I thinking through Hamlet and Shakespeare? Is that right or true? Are they really so similar to me? Are our minds so similar? I don't know. I think I can relate to them and place myself in their shoes and think the same thoughts they have, but am I right? I'll never know. But for some reason I feel that connection. Experiencing love alone. Is to love to be loved, and you don't necessarily need the realized culmination. You don't need to understand it or have it be a homogenized thing, but you just accept that you are loved. Realistically, neither of us know, the two people in love with each other. And maybe there isn't some guru that sat on some mountain pondering the meaning of love for his whole life that knows for sure what it is. Maybe nobody knows. Maybe, like with his search for the extreme embodiment of something that can be deemed correct, there is no extreme. There is no form of perfection. It's some disappointingly normal or small thing I'll find on the other side of the door. Maybe that's the only realization to have, the only truth to learn, is that there isn't one. It's an evolving answer. I realize looking at the scattered order of these thoughts, having gone back to love twice or thrice now, I could also say that the sort of unknowingness and a search or a contentedness or the realization, really everything about it is all right. It's all love on some level. For someone, it's the truth. But for me, I don't know. I don't know my truth. I don't even think I know who I am. At least I haven't picked someone to be. But then, I suppose I'm the person that houses all these things and can't decide. I'm very similar to Hamlet. Oftentimes, I look at what he does and I can understand it. I imagine I were him, and I understand the actions through my own thoughts and reasonings. I can relate to him. At least I think I can. But maybe him and I are completely different, and I'm projecting onto him. But it's so easy to place how I would do things onto him. And he and I end up doing the same things, or they're things I would think about doing, because I think a lot. Greatness is for somebody else. You don't get to experience your own greatness. And if you do, maybe you're not that great. Daniel Arnold, walkie-talkie interview. I love getting inspired.
The different ways characters grieve and deal with grief and the loss of their loved ones.
I'm not quite sure how to start this. Laertes, Hamlet, Ophelia, Gertrude. They're all quite interesting to me. From the few that I've sort of half-assedly tried to delve deep into the minds of, that being Hamlet, Claudius, and Shakespeare, with lighter looks into Ophelia and Gertrude, and a glance over of Laertes, I can say for certain that they all are really quite human. They're not like characters. What I want to look at is their difference. All four of them go through grief, specifically the grief of losing a loved one. Laertes, sort of the most character-like among them, does something very, very him. His character, a sort of brash man who has strong feelings on how things should be, these deep-rooted morals, but he isn't quite conscious of them. He's unconscious in his being. He doesn't think of himself. He's not so aware of his form of self. He, learning of his father's death, seeks immediate revenge. It goes into like a sort of state of frenzy. And when he hears of his sister's death, he seems deeply affected.
In the movie, he's faking it. It did give, for some reason, that the emotional distress of his sister's death wasn't super genuine. But that could be a fault of the adaptation as well.
Laertes, was your father dear to you, or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart, to show yourself your father's son in deed more than in words?
Maybe he is faking it. And kind of like the love thing with Hamlet and Ophelia, he's just trying to be what he thinks he should be as a son.
Either way, he has a very distinct way of reacting and dealing with his grief. Ophelia, on the other hand, I think was a little less excluded of variables. She went through a bit more of a building, accumulating grief that ultimately led to her decision to kill herself. She was so overwhelmed that she ended it all. That alone is very different from Laertes. The two of them sort of embody the two choices in Hamlet's suicide monologue. Then Gertrude.
She's running away from her grief, trying to hide from it. She doesn't confront it in any sense. She doesn't try to end it. She doesn't seek justification or clarity. She just places it out of mind.
Then Hamlet.
He's super sane! Ah! He's Super Saiyan!
Hamlet foils his mom in a sense. The opposite of her lack of thought and attachment is his superconsciousness. He is so aware, and that's ironic to say because he's unaware of so much, but he thinks. I could be projecting again, but I feel this way with him. I'm so aware of myself. I think about what doing things makes me, why I do them, what I am. With the nature of the kitten example, I sort of don't have a nature. I think your nature is most often one that you're unaware of. Perhaps I have a nature, one where I think and seek consciousness. It's in my nature to have these thoughts.
I search for truth, something absolute that is me, but I sort of don't at the same time. I don't have a yearning for this, and if I did, that yearning would be my nature, and it's not. An absolution, I think, as I've come to realize, is a perverse thing I search for that cannot be. It's inhuman. An uncharacterized state is human. Humanity is fluid and changing, and I am less than that process. And my awareness of the process is, I fail in my ability to embody them fully. You become abstracted when you are conscious. To be unknowingly present is to be real and true. To have thoughts about it in any third-person capacity removes you. Perhaps I am not as conscious as I believe. Maybe there is some nature that I have that I'm unaware of. Something driving me. Something that makes me me. And I cannot perceive it, so it is true. I know it's true because I am not conscious of it. I think that could be a good thing. But on the other side of that coin, it's sort of tragic or ironic. I'm not sure. It's something less than good. In my realization that it might be there and I'm unaware of it, I redeem some of the irony of my supposed superconsciousness. I don't like that word. It labels me as something that might not be true. I like to be honest, but it's the Sisyphean labor. In my thinkings, I find out a lot about myself, and I sort of search for something, that nature, that prize, the absolution, and that either can't be found or once found becomes worthless because it won't be true anymore. So logically, I should give up my task, but that isn't in my nature to do. It won't be me. It's Ouroboros, the thing of my being. What makes me me is a desire to undo myself and to make the fiber of my being, that thing that makes me me, not me. In the search for self, I will only either disappointingly come short, catching mere remembrances of specks, glimpsing fading shadows of the real thing, or realize that something, which once realized, will come to an end and become worthless almost, unmagical. Its functioning will cease. I will never again be me. The heart of my mechanism is one that must remain unrealized. For anything to perceive it and mark it with any form of understanding, it would be falsified immediately. I'm reminded of the allegory of the cave. The shadows are true. They are real shadows, but they become untrue when we project a perception onto them. So what makes me me? If there is something like that deep down, it must remain hidden. I hope that in my ponderings, I might never find the thing I truly search for.
Guys, I kind of want Chick-fil-A, I won't lie. What the hell am I supposed to do about that? Of course. Yeah, but it's been like fucking forever. What the hell do you want me to do?
I think we should end it today.
9 is a good number. Well, technically it's day 10 because we broke our design, but that's not important. We need to end it anyway.
I just had a thought. Are we reliable narrators? We always talk about that in class, and I always failed to see the importance. But I kind of saw it with a reading I shared with someone important once. And I'm realizing our reliability is important to our purpose in this.
If we're reliable or not can change that purpose. Obviously, the big man upstairs had his original plan and his purpose, but whether that becomes realized or not is up to our reliability.
Okay. So, in case it's not already obvious, I think I should probably explain what this whole thing is. It's my mind. Or it's supposed to be the different ways I can kind of think of things. And it would be how I thought while analyzing Hamlet. The whole idea sort of came with the whole consciousness problem that I have. I'm Super Saiyan, or whatever, super conscious. And I kind of thought that somebody might have their one way of thinking and perceiving Hamlet, and that would be true to them. But I don't really have that one way, you know? I can sort of fracture my mind to see the world. And that sort of led to the 3 parts of my mind, being the thinking, feeling, and reacting mind. So yeah, and those kind of have reflections of the id ego and super ego, but they're not exactly the same thing. Originally I was kind of gonna do like 8 or something fractures, and they were all gonna be like extremes, like sort of Buddhism, Christianity, like forgiveness, Stoicism, things like that, I guess, theological, or like, I don't know, just like more extreme things. Then I decided that I kind of want to do something more honest, and like true to myself. And like with those 8 extremes, I think like 2 of them would have been kind of like me, like more me. But I think with it being this sort of, oh shit, look at that bear. With it being this, like, what do I do? Focus up. Anyways, they would have lent themselves to like that more extreme thing, and they would have been true. And I like being honest, you know? I want to make something true. And I did take some artistic liberties, so it's not completely true. But I tried to be as documentarian as possible. Like, just straight up, this is my mind. This is what I'm thinking. So yeah. And I don't know if I could even be 100% honest. Like, to just truly embody my thoughts. I think I'd have to be like the kitten almost in this abstracted world, like completely removed of any influence or anything. My script is just fucking flying away out here. What else was I gonna say? I'm rambling on, really. But this whole thing is my musing and rambling. Wow, so lovely out. And that bridge. Let me fix my script real quick. Mother trucker. Here we go. So yeah, if I am truly 100% honest in this depiction of myself, then this is a window into me, a raw piece of me that you can hold and look at. If I fail in my honesty, then it's a piece of art, something depicting an effort of honesty or an inability to find it or something else. It sort of changes its meaning depending on how real I'm able to be. Zoom all the way out. Mother trucker. This shit is a pain in the fucking ass. I don't know.
I'm slightly worried that we veered off course of Hamlet. This trying to be a true state of my mind thing obviously means that I couldn't only think of Hamlet, but I think we gotta wrap this up. I still have to film and edit all of this.
Nice fourth wall break. Here's another. Every interruption in thinking has been included in the filming.
This has all been real time as I've thought it, sort of. We did break a couple rules, but that's all right. I wish we had more time to make something complete and full as we can make it.
Enough distractions. Back to Hamlet. Dramatic question mark?
We're waiting in the car.
I'm not really sure if you feel this way because you don't make it so obvious. I think I need to tell you anyways. You're literally goated. I wish you were a bit more confident in yourself. I wish you would love yourself more. I'm not too sure what you think you're lacking. I'm sitting here, writing this script, and I honestly can't muster up any ideas. Maybe that means you did a good job hiding away, but I wish you would be found. As I write this, I'm looking out my window and wondering if my neighbor spraying off his outside table with a hose has it all figured out. Maybe he's perfect. His house is yellow with a green roof. And now as he coils the hose up, I wonder if he sees all these wrong things in himself that you see. It hurts me to know you feel those things. I think one realization I've come to in my thinking for this is that nobody knows.
Humanity is an imperfection. I don't think any amount of words can make you come to realize this as I have. But literally nobody has any fucking idea what they're doing. They're all floundering. That's what it means to be human. They don't even have a vague idea of the truth. At most, they only think they know why they're doing it. It's all just made up bullshit. Yeah, I have no idea whatever the fuck that is over there. But it's there, so like, I guess. And this right here, I was born with that shit, baby. I know that's my reason. But I don't. All this to say, I know you are capable of great things. You're goated. As long as you try, if you're giving your all, I know it will work out. And that sounds like it's made of fluff, but I honestly, with every fiber of my being, believe that it's true. Things take time. They take effort. You have both to give. I know you're capable. I probably can't stop your doubting, because that's human. But I hope I can start your believing. You deserve the world. And I wish I could give it to you, but I don't think you'd like that. Still, I'll say, you deserve the world. I love you.
A king must be greedier than any other. He must laugh more loudly, enrage for much longer, and embody the very extreme of all things, good and evil. That is why his retainers envy his existence, and adore him as well, and why the flames of aspiration to be just as the king can burn within his people.
I think that pretty well sums up how the glasses guy thinks. He's looking for kings. Maybe one king that he thinks is the best. And then he's going to try and embody that king, or maybe follow it around or something.
I think the answer to my question of what is Hamlet about is ironically pretty much the same as what you two said without much thought. It's about life and the human experience. It really is, in my mind, an amazing depiction of humanity. Not just as a whole. We look at one, and it's like, this is humanity. Like the adjective. And we get the encapsulating sense, too. The humans we see are all so different, and all have their similarities. And that is humanity. Like the noun. It's pretty neat.
I don't know how to end this. I think I feel done, but I'm sure I'll have more thoughts later. Maybe I'll keep it open. Maybe everything after this is just stuff I wanted to tack on. I'm sure there's more. I guess I'll revert to my classic go-to. I don't know.